beating his ex-girlfriend Cassie in a hotel in Los Angeles. A hotel security supervisor in LA testified that Combs paid him $100,000 for he and two other employees to keep the video quiet and hand over the thumb drive.
Eddie Garcia said Combs and his associates paid him $100,000 for the footage. He remembered Sean Combs taking out a paper bag and then putting stacks of $10,000 through a money counter before handing him the cash. He remembered him saying, "You want to count it?" And Garcia telling Combs, "I trust the machine." He was told when he showed up to work that there had been a domestic dispute. Then he was shown the video, and he told Christina Coram, who he said kept calling, that the video was bad. She kept asking to see it. Could she have it? He resisted. One time, though, Christina Coram puts Sean Combs on the phone and says, "I'll take care of you." Eventually, arrangements are made, and he shows up at a building with a thumb drive containing the video, and when he walks in, he remembers Combs telling him, "Eddie, my angel." What a greeting. And then making him sign a non-disclosure agreement and a certification that it was the only copy of the video before turning over the cash. A couple of weeks later, it's Easter, and Eddie Garcia says Sean Combs calls him to wish him happy Easter and to inquire whether anyone was asking about the video.
The day's big witness was a former security officer at the Intercontinental Hotel. He said Diddy paid him $100,000 to fork over what he thought was the one and only copy of a video of Cassie's assault.
Multiple times, ultimately putting Combs on the phone. Garcia said that at first Combs sounded nervous. He said he thought that this would ruin his career. Garcia ultimately went to his supervisor, told him about Combs' request, and that supervisor, Errol, said that he would do it for $50,000 and get him that video.
Sean Combs literally paid $100,000 in cash to bury a video. And honey, we all saw it anyway. But wait until you hear what the security guard just revealed in court. What's good, gossip lovers? Your girl is back with the most unhinged celebrity trial testimony of 2025, and I am not prepared for this level of mess. Before we dive in, hit like and subscribe for real receipts, true stories, and zero fluff. You'll want to see how this one ends. We're diving deep into the Diddy drama that has Hollywood shaking. And trust me, you're going to want to grab your popcorn and your notebook because this story has more plot twists than a soap opera, more drama than reality TV, and more evidence than a CSI episode. Today, we're breaking down everything that happened in court with security guard Eddie Garcia, the man who just became the most important witness in hip-hop history. Plus, we're getting into the financial records, the wire transfers, and why prosecutors think this whole thing is basically organized crime in Armani suits. So picture this. It's March 5th, 2016, Intercontinental Hotel in LA, and Diddy is having what we can only describe as his worst day ever. Security cameras are rolling because, hello, it's a hotel. And they catch him literally kicking and dragging Cassie Ventura down a hallway like this is some twisted action movie. Now, Cassie testified that she was trying to escape what prosecutors are calling freak-offs. And no, that's not the technical term, but that's literally what they called them in court. Girl was trying to get out, and this man followed her into the hallway like some kind of stalker ex-boyfriend from hell. Listen to what Cassie said happened, and I quote, "When I chose to leave, I grabbed what I could and I got out. Sean followed me into the hallway before the elevators and grabbed me up, threw me on the ground, kicked me, and tried to drag me back to the room."
The efforts that Sean Combs allegedly took to ensure that that hotel surveillance footage of him physically beating Cassie would be buried.
The footage is so bad that when CNN got their hands on it last year, Diddy had to do one of those classic celebrity apology videos talking about seeking professional help. You know the type. Standing in front of a ring light looking all remorseful, probably with a crisis management team just off camera. Meet Eddie Garcia, the hotel security guard who just became the star witness in this whole mess. This man walked into court and served us the tea of the century. So apparently, right after this whole hallway disaster goes down, Diddy's assistant, Christina Coram, calls up Eddie asking for the security footage, like she's ordering room service. Eddie's like, "Girl, you need management approval or a subpoena. being all professional and following protocol like a good employee should. But Christina shows up to the hotel lobby anyway, because when you work for a billionaire, apparently no is just a suggestion, trying to sweet-talk her way into seeing the tape. She's asking about the video, wanting to know what they were dealing with. And Eddie, bless his honest heart, tells her he can't show it to her, but then drops this bomb. Off the record, it's bad. Like, imagine being so messy that even the security guard is giving you a heads up that you're absolutely cooked. Think about it. This is a hotel security guard who probably sees weird stuff daily. And even he was like, nah, this is bad. That's when you know you've really messed up. Y'all, this is where it gets absolutely unhinged. That same evening, Eddie gets a call on his personal phone. Not his work phone, his personal phone. And guess who's on the other end? A nervous Sean Combs talking faster than an auctioneer at a Birkin bag sale. Diddy's on the phone like, "Do you know who I am?" Which, sir, is never a good way to start any conversation. It's giving very much "don't you know who I am" energy, and we all know how that usually ends. Then he starts making excuses, saying he had a little too much to drink, and you know how things get with women when one thing leads to another. Excuse me? Sir, we just watched you literally drag someone down a hallway. That's not how things get with women. That's called assault. Like, alcohol doesn't make you chase someone down a hotel corridor. But wait, it gets better. Diddy tells Eddie he sounds like a good guy, and that something like this could ruin him. The man is literally having a full breakdown on the phone with a random security guard, explaining that this could destroy his career, which, spoiler alert, it kinda did. Then, and I cannot make this up, he says, "I'll take care of you." And when Eddie mentions $100,000, Diddy gets excited and starts calling him Eddie my angel. Like, imagine being so desperate that you're angeling a security guard you met 5 minutes ago. The secondhand embarrassment is real. Garcia testified that Diddy sounded excited and referred to me as Eddie my angel. Sir, you're not on a dating app, you're trying to cover up a crime. So Eddie shows up to this apartment about 20 minutes from the hotel with a thumb drive, thinking he's got the only copy of this video. Plot twist, clearly not. And Diddy is there, smiling and excited like it's Christmas morning. "Eddie, my angel," he says, making tea and playing host like they're old friends catching up at a dinner party. The hospitality is sending me. This man is literally about to hand over 6 figures in cash, and he's worried about being a good host. Then, and this part is straight out of a movie, Diddy FaceTimes Cassie, so she can tell Eddie that she also wants the video to disappear. Like, imagine making your victim participate in the cover-up of their own assault. The audacity is astronomical.
Eddie Garcia took the stand and he said that after this incident occurred, that he received numerous calls into the security desk at the hotel. He said that those calls came from Christina Quorum, who introduced herself.
Garcia testified that Cassie was wearing a hoodie, and the lighting wasn't that great, probably because she's having the worst day of her life and has to participate in this whole cover-up conversation. Diddy tells her, let him know that you want this to go away too. And Cassie has to play along, saying she has a movie coming out and it wasn't a good time for this to come out. Can you imagine? Your abuser is literally paying someone to hide evidence of what they did to you, and you have to smile and participate because your career depends on it. The whole thing is just sick. But wait, there's more. Diddy makes Eddie sign a non-disclosure agreement, because apparently verbal agreements aren't enough when you're committing federal crimes, and demands his ID plus the IDs of his supervisor and coworker. This man is treating a bribe like a business transaction. Then Diddy disappears and comes back with a brown bag and a money counter, a literal money counter, people, and starts feeding it stacks of $10,000 at a time, like he's Tony Soprano making a payment to the mob. The visual of this is absolutely unreal. After handing over $100,000 in cash, which, by the way, is more money than most people make in 2 years, Diddy walks Eddie to his car like a perfect gentleman and casually mentions, "Don't make any big purchases." Sir, you just handed this man a down payment on a house, and you're giving financial advice? The irony is not lost on us. It's giving very much, here's enough money to change your life, but also be cool about it energy. Garcia testified that Combs and a bodyguard walked him all the way to the valet where his car was parked, because apparently even criminal transactions deserve 5-star customer service. They're probably rating this bribe experience on Yelp. Excellent hospitality, prompt payment would commit federal crimes again. But here's where it gets even more ridiculous. A few weeks later, Diddy texts Eddie on Easter saying, "Happy Easter, Eddie, my angel. God is good." The audacity! Following it up with, "Has anyone asked about the video?" Like, imagine getting holiday texts from someone who paid you hush money. He's treating this man like they're family now. "Hey bestie, happy Resurrection Sunday. Also, quick check. Anyone snooping around about that felony we covered up? XOXO. The fact that Diddy felt comfortable enough to reach out weeks later shows you how confident he was that this whole thing was handled. He really thought he had solved his problem with a brown bag full of cash. After Eddie's explosive testimony, prosecutors brought in Derek Ferguson, Diddy's longtime CFO from Bad Boy Entertainment for 12 years, to basically explain how this whole operation worked financially. And honey, when the feds start pulling out your business records, you know it's serious. Ferguson walked the jury through Diddy's bank accounts, how his businesses managed cash, and how employees got reimbursed for expenses. Now, when I say expenses, I don't mean office supplies and business lunches. We're talking about personal assistants being tasked with purchasing supplies for these alleged freak-offs, including gallons of baby oil, sexual lubricant, drugs, and alcohol. Like, imagine submitting those receipts to HR. "Hey, can I get reimbursed for 47 bottles of baby oil and industrial-sized containers of lube? It's for a work event." The accounting department must have been stressed. But here's the really juicy part. The jury saw documents showing wire transfers from 2011 involving Cassie's mother. We're talking about $20,000 that went back and forth like a financial ping-pong game. Regina Ventura, Cassie's mom, testified that she and her husband took out a home equity loan to fund a $20,000 payment because Diddy was demanding to recoup money he spent on Cassie. Why? Because he was mad that she had a relationship with Kid Cudi. Let me get this straight. This man was so pressed about his ex talking to another rapper that he demanded her parents pay him back? The pettiness is off the charts. It's giving, if I can't have you, your family owes me money energy. The money trail shows a December 14th transfer of $20,000 to Cassie, then December 23rd, $20,000 from her father, and then December 27th, another $20,000 labeled return of funds. It's like following a paper trail of toxicity. The prosecution is building a case that shows escalating behavior over years, multiple victims, and a systematic approach to silencing anyone who might expose what was really going on. They're not just trying to prove individual crimes. They're trying to prove an entire criminal lifestyle. This trial has more drama than Real Housewives, more plot twists than a telenovela, and more evidence than a true crime documentary series. And we're only in week 3. If you're as obsessed with this trial as I am, smash that like button and subscribe because we are covering every single day of this absolute mess. This is literally the trial of the decade, and we're getting front row seats to watch a hip-hop empire potentially crumble in real time. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the most shocking part of today's testimony for you? Is it the $100,000 in cash with an actual money counter? The Eddie my angel holiday texts? The fact that Cassie had to participate in covering up her own assault? Or maybe it's those wire transfers involving her parents? Also, let me know what you think is going to happen with witness Jane tomorrow. Are we about to get 5 days of even more explosive testimony? Because at this point, I don't know how much more drama this trial can handle. Don't forget to turn on notifications because this trial is literally giving us content daily, and every day brings new levels of unhinged behavior that we absolutely need to break down together.